Should we write?
Read a fucking
Should
book.
we read the email that the girl sent us?
No. I
No.
don't want to read that.
No,
It happened.
It is pretty funny.
She's not wrong.
She's
either.
not wrong.
All right. Fuck
Well,
it.
we should sort of say like we try to, try something different.
Should we put this
because-
at the front of the podcast to like set up
Oh, okay.
this
if you
week? Let's
want.
do that.
But
This
we-
is going to go at the beginning
We
of the podcast.
we should say like why we wanted to switch something just quickly.
Yeah. So we go. You start. You did.
Well, I think we wanted to switch something because just being in comedy and doing podcasts, sometimes you need a hook, and I think sometimes, unfortunately, and I'm not complaining at all, but we just tried something different, and it was a hook to challenge ourselves. And there's a little couple hiccups and speed bumps when you try something new.
Yeah.
But thank you for the feedback.
It's actually, and you sent this email right as we were kind of talking about how we need to fix it because we were taking too long.
you
up
were
top.
actually the one.
I had
who-
been pushing
yeah.
because it was becoming. I still think it's a good idea, and we're going to keep doing these challenges, but we're going to make it. We're going to talk about it a lot less, and we'll know in advance what the challenge is because otherwise we're spending 40 minutes just arguing.
I think the
and
challenges.
it just was none of us were happy about it.
I think the challenges are good for posting things on our social media to keep up
Right,
with.
and so
with
that's
us
what we're
for
going to
the
keep
week.
doing. So you
Yeah.
can still have like a reason, and we want you to follow us, and we still want to give advice and like help you solve your problems because it's something we still think is funny as shit, and we love hearing from people. And so we had a buddy, Monica, who reached out, and we've had a lot of positive feedback. But what she's saying here is right, and I hate you for this. I hate you for being right, Monica. Hey, buds, been listening to the podcast for a while, and I'm finally caught up on the current episode. Thanks for making my commute much more enjoyable. You know what? You're welcome, Monica. The three of you are all very talented and entertaining, except for Chris. Why did you? No, that's not in there. I added that. My all-time favorite is when Pavone told the story of how he and his friends kidnapped a girl as a prank that had me dead. LOL.
I forget her name. The girl I kidnapped.
You forget the girl you kidnapped?
I forget her name. Josie. Sorry, Josie. I see her around every once in a while in Woodbridge when I go back home, and she always ignores me.
She says,
Wonder why.
she says, here's some bad news. The new idea is not working for me. I know I'm not your only listener, but I'm just saying from my perspective. The best part of your podcast is when there was no structure and we just got to hear about your everyday lives. I love you guys, but hearing you argue about running 2 miles, how clean Scopo has to make the kitchen, and how many open mics Alex has to get to is not good content. Not the best content. I knew from the beginning Scopo would throw a fit about anything that was thrown his way. Hilarious. Yes, he completed the challenge, but his attitude was not fun to listen to. on a
You know what? You
podcast.
clean the bathroom for fucking 3.5 hours of Monica and see how much fun you're having.
See? She's right. I know he's going to disregard this email and say something along the lines of "go home, whore." But I'm truly writing this.
No, I would not say whore to you, Monica. I don't know your lifestyle yet.
I want the old buddies back. Thank you guys for everything. You're hilarious, and you all deserve a Netflix special, except for Chris. Why does she keep saying that? No, she didn't say that. Much love from Seattle. Okay, love from Seattle.
Seattle. What a weird town.
And then I just forwarded it to everybody else, and I went, oh, boy. But no, it's something we had been talking about since we started, and we're just trying to figure out the concept. So, Monica, I hope you're still listening. Hope we didn't lose you. So we're going to try to keep the challenge stuff to under 10 minutes at the beginning of the podcast. So that way you can follow us on Sweet Buddies because we still like that and it's still fun, and we're working through it. We're going to make it funnier and more engaging as we go.
Yeah, Monica, was
So
it good
thanks
enough for you
listening.
today? Huh? The free content we're giving you every week.
Screaming
Was
at the
that
mic.
was that the good enough for you, Monica?
Well, this is the beginning of the podcast, so she hasn't heard the hilarity that will
Well,
ensue.
it's coming. I'll tell you that, Monica.
Go ahead and call her what you want to call her.
Go home, whore. I'm kidding. Slut.
Stay here, whore. So yeah, we're working through it, but today the podcast we're condensing it to around 10 minutes at the beginning. We know the challenge up front, so that way there's no screaming and arguing about it. We did about 20 minutes of figuring out the challenge, so hopefully that will be Pavone had just left the room to fart, and he's waving behind his asshole. So yeah, that's what we're doing with the podcast now. So we're figuring it out. Thank you for sticking with us, Monica, and everyone else. But this podcast we just finished recording is pretty fucking funny. Stick around; it gets really weird, and I'm very happy about it. We're back.
What's up, buddy?
Woo! Well, a little more, maybe a little more enthusiasm out of you.
How are you?
You're half asleep. But
How's it going? No,
that's
I'm awake.
great.
Hello.
Buddies, we're back in the suite. How is everybody? How's your week been? I don't really care. I'm talking to the listeners, not you two. What's new?
Not much, hanging in there.
Why am I driving this fucking train right now?
I think you're the
You're the
leader.
conductor, baby.
Well, we just came off of a big week. Pavone had to sit through an entire open mic every single night this week from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go for you? If you follow us at Sweet Buddies on Instagram, you've seen all the wonderful videos of some of the most amazing comics in New York.
Yeah. It went, as well as it could go. I sat through the open mics, and I got on. I was probably in the last group every single time,
Well, you're not a known commodity in
Which
the
I
open
didn't-
mic world.
which I didn't mind because I had to stay there anyways, so it didn't matter. And one show I didn't get on at all, so I just sat there and didn't get on
Wow. How long did you wait?
the whole time.
What does that mean? Is that an hour, 2 hours? Some mics could go 3
So
hours.
An hour and 20 minutes.
Did you get anything out of it? Did you get any
No.
material?
No.
Did you do any material,
Yeah.
or were you?
Because
Because I saw some clips, and I was out of town, so I'm going with one tonight with you, because I went out of town the rest of the time.
Yeah, I got.
And boy, do I have some stories.
Yeah. Oh, where'd you go?
I was in Orlando.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jesus Christ, I forgot that this was this weekend. Yeah, that was it. I didn't really get a lot of material out of it.
Did you try? Did you even utilize the time at all?
Yeah, of course. Some were like 5 minutes.
But you did. Were you trying to work on anything, or were you just out there
Yeah.
killing time because you had to?
No, I tried some stuff
All
that
right.
I've never said before,
Sure.
but I definitely didn't do any material that I've ever thought could ever work.
I definitely have been thinking about hitting a couple more mics a week because
Why?
Just because it's like it's stage time, and
No, it's not.
last night I was.
It's actually not.
Well, no, for me, and call me crazy, which I know you will. Crazy would be the nicest thing you guys
I
have
saw
told me.
Dan Perlman at an open mic, who's a comic in New York City. He did a joke at the open mic. It got zero, nothing, absolutely nothing, less than nothing.
Sure.
He did the same joke at a show. He got a 17-second applause break. The exact.
Did
same
you laugh
joke.
at the open mic?
No.
At his joke?
No,
Okay.
and I didn't laugh at the other
But
one.
maybe the saying of the words out loud into a microphone helps you with the wording.
No, he actually came up to me after and he goes, I should never go to open mics. It didn't help me at all.
Well, I was at a show last night, and was working on a bit, and I messed the wording up because I never said it out loud before, and I got all my timing wrong on it. So I was like, oh man, I know an open mic's not going to help me find out if this is funny or not, but it would help me speak out loud and just talk through the bit.
Or just do more late night.
Yeah,
That's what I
all
do.
of that. All that
I
would
just
be.
go, I'd rather go to late night and do
Why-
5 minutes in front of people instead of going to open mic.
Why don't you just say it
I'm just saying.
record it in your room by yourself? Seriously.
I'm trying to find a positive here for you.
Oh, there wasn't any. It
Um,
was terrible.
But
One show.
he's doing one tonight, by the way, because he couldn't do one last night or yesterday because he was in
I thought
he was in
did
Atlantic
one.
City.
But
No,
didn't you do like a middle afternoon one or something like that?
No.
so he approached me earlier in the day and said that he wants to do one tonight as
Yesterday.
a makeup.
Yesterday. I told
Was it?
you.
Yeah, it was
Or 2
yesterday.
days
That's
ago.
right. Sorry. So he's gonna do one more tonight, which I'm very excited about. And
And,
I'm going with you finally. How were all the mics that you went to with him?
I didn't go to one mic with him.
Why not?
I was sick all last week.
Sick with the flu. Is that what it was?
I don't know what it was, but it was.
Did the pasta help?
What pasta?
Your mom brought pasta.
Oh no!
I love the idea of my son's sick. Maz is the best. My son's sick. Here's 2 pounds of rigatoni.
Yeah, she just gave it to me. She's
It's
like,
a
"You
tr-
want it?" And I was like, "Fuck it, yeah." I'll
It's
take
Italian penicillin.
It. Yeah, it didn't help though. I'll be
Rigatoni and
honest.
red sauce.
One open mic though, there was 6 people, and a guy took a shit, but the toilet broke, and he came out of the bathroom, and I was going to take a piss after him, and there was shit everywhere, and I flushed the toilet. I lifted up the back, and stuff, and then he went on. There was 5 people. And he started talking, telling his jokes, and he was bombing. And then he's like, you know what, I have a confession to make. I took a shit, and I feel bad because someone went after me and had to flush the toilet. And I was like, I'm here, bro.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes. And then he was like, sorry, man. I'm like, you don't see a plunger? And he goes, oh, I didn't see it. I'm like, he goes, there's a plunger? I'm like, in a bathroom, man? Yeah, there is. I go, you've never lifted up the back of a toilet and flushed the toilet? He goes, oh, I wasn't thinking like that because, you know, I was in a rush. I'm like, you're in a rush. You shit in a bathroom. Take care of your shit.
The other thing worse is shitting on the floor and just walking out and not saying anything.
And then he tried to put a bunch of toilet paper over the shit. Like that was gonna
like newspaper over a dog shit in the house.
So there's like 4 people in the open mic, and we're just yelling at each other.
So you're saying it's the smartest people ever that go to these open mics?
Yeah.
That guy
Geniuses.
turns out to be Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then
That was Sebastian working out his MSG bits.
yeah. And then
You ever take a shit and leave it? I was Dice Clay, but you get it.
I don't know what that was. Yeah, that was not
5
Sebastian.
people at about 11. It was about 12 o'clock at this point because this open mic was
A
started
nooner.
at 10:30 p.m.
Wow.
So it was almost close to midnight. 4 people left, and then me and him are just yelling at each other about shit. And then I get called up right after him, and then now we're just doing the exact same thing in reverse. Now I have the mic. And I'm like, how could you not fucking flush the toilet, dude?
Also, what do you want to do? Do you need to sanitize them? Did he wash his hands?
That's how disgusting.
You can't flush the toilet. You don't know how to wash
That's
your
how
hands.
disgusting comics are, though. That they'll take a shit out of that bathroom. That place is terrible for going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because it's right in the middle of the showroom.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to walk through everybody, and if you take a shit, the stench is gonna. People in the front row are gonna smell the stench.
Yeah.
It's hot. That's how savage people are. Like, oh no, I'll shit here instead of
It's
holding it
disgusting.
in, waiting a little bit.
It's fucking
maybe going to your
disgusting.
house.
Open mics are filthy. The people.
That was one open mic, though. I yelled at a guy for shitting, and then we yelled at each
That's
other for 8
funny.
minutes.
I laughed right
I'm
now
glad you
hearing about
did.
the story.
I waited
I would
an
love-
hour and a half to yell at a guy for not flushing a toilet. When he was on stage and then when I was on stage.
But he
I
does-
literally took the mic from him and yelled at him before he got to his seat, and he was yelling back at me.
Did he stay the whole show?
Yeah, he stayed. He felt bad. He was more apologetic.
I mean, you
than
did
what-
kind of, humiliate the guy. Although, he could have just flushed the toilet.
He could have flushed the toilet. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm very
Travis
happy.
Grant.
Wow, you're calling him out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus.
That was his name. He's got to learn.
Well, I still think that it was good for you.
Mhm.
I think that this story should be brought into the world. I think you should tell people the story. We told it on the podcast, and I'd like for you to talk about it on stage. Develop a bit out of the guy who couldn't take a shit properly.
Sure, that's relatable.
I
Do
think
you
it
guys
is.
ever go to open mic and they shit in the open mic?
The guy didn't flush the toilet. You know what? Look,
How do you
I'm
not
here
flush
trying to
the
find the
toilet, though?
positive,
How do
okay?
you not flush a toilet?
I've not flushed toilets before. We've all not flushed toilets before.
No, we
No,
try.
We try to.
Yeah, and then you plunge it.
It depends where you are. There has been a time where I've taken a shit in a bar or like a gas station and it doesn't flush, and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, if you're walking out, you don't then just hang out all night in the place you just shit.
Yeah.
You go to a
that's-
Flying J
What a
truck stop and you're just sitting around hanging out talking with the
What
people.
a psycho that guy
That's
is.
disgusting.
But yeah, that was my week. That was it. It was fun. I learned a lot. Thanks
I kind
for
of
the
hope you missed the
challenge.
challenge. I hope you missed the mic today, so that way you lose the challenge. I think it was more of a mental challenge than anything else.
He did. He called my brother by mistake after, and said he's like, I can't do it after the shit.
He's like, "What the fuck are you talking
I
about?"
thought it was Chris, but I
Yeah.
called Joe, and he was like, he thought I was going to kill myself. He
Yeah.
didn't know what was happening.
My brother texted me later. He goes, I got so scared. I thought something happened to you.
It's hilarious. Why would his roommate be calling?
Yeah.
That's so dumb. So now it's moving on to the next challenge real quick. Go for it. It's my week. Big week.
So you're the first repeater.
It's my second challenge.
Second challenge. First challenge did not go according to plan.
Well, if the rules were in place for my week, we won't go
You
into that.
know, but maybe you don't have a birthday, or maybe you don't get drunk. It's fine. One of the two.
Maybe I'm a lenient, nice guy. All right.
We'll see. You have a tendency to watch a lot of TV.
I will say that I have a lot of TV on.
A lot of Cooking Network.
No, Mike, I saw you sat down for 3 days and go through the Entourage series.
Yeah, you watched
So-
all of
First
Entourage
of all,
in 3 days,
That
dude.
took like a week and a half, 2 weeks
Okay.
minimum. Also,
Sure.
didn't you take 16 straight days out of your life to watch Game
We're
of
not
Thrones?
talking about me. Okay?
Well, I am.
We're not talking about me right
I'm
now.
not the only one in
You
this
did
house.
watch
that
Entourage
First of
in a
all,
week.
You watch sports
Haven't,
nonstop.
First of all,
True.
haven't you watched Entourage already?
Yeah, like twice.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones. Everything was new to me.
Yeah.
So you knew what the hell was
I was
happening
I was checking
throughout
out
Entourage.
nuance. It was nuance.
Mike,
I was
you had
looking.
Dip, and then you had Entourage, and then you were just fucking sitting there like a fat kid on Christmas, just waiting.
I remember you jumping in and watching a bunch of those
I
episodes
watched
with
a
me.
few, but you know what
You
I
stayed
did?
up till 4 or 5 in the
You know what
morning
I did,
finishing
Mike?
it.
I went and went to bed. Well, I went and laid in bed and thought crippling anxiety about myself. But that's not the point. The point is you watch a lot of TV.
You could watch TV only if sports are coming out of there. You can't watch movies.
No
on
Food
television.
Network either.
I don't watch Food Network.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I don't have cable, and it's
No, you don't
I
watch any
came
Food Network.
home yesterday and there was 4 men in a kitchen whisking. What the fuck was that?
Might have been a Tasty, BuzzFeed Tasty. That ain't Food Network.
All right, well,
Okay, so what's my challenge? Tell me the challenge.
you can't watch anything on television, sitcoms or Hulu or Netflix. Or,
Sure.
What you can watch is the news,
The news,
sports, live
Sports.
sports. As we know, the Super Bowl is coming up. So I mean,
the big
obvi-
game.
The big
We're not
games.
trying to get sued.
Yeah, so you could have. You're obviously there's no way around that. You have to watch that. And no movies.
No
on
streaming
TV.
services. So no live
streaming
TV, no
services,
Netflix, Hulu,
no
nothing like that.
YouTube going and finding movies on uTorrent or whatever the
Mhm.
fuck it is.
Sure,
We know what
sure.
you do.
There's no getting
Never
around
torrented.
that. Yeah, the only thing you could watch again, news, sports, and no documentaries, no like on YouTube.
I thought I could get away with that.
No
No.
Fry Festival. Fire
No.
Festival.
I've already seen that.
Yeah, you can't watch
No.
any.
Oh, I watched the Ted Bundy Classifieds. It's pretty good, but you can't watch that.
No, you can't watch.
Haven't.
I watched the first episode. I wasn't super intrigued by it.
Really?
It was a little boring.
Bundy?
The story's great, but I thought the documentary was just like they're just trying to jerk each other off.
Is there anything we could think of? If there are some things that we forget on the podcast, and I see you doing, I'm gonna immediately cut you off and tell you that you can't do it.
No, what if I walk into a bar and there's TV on and they're playing a movie and I'm just in the bar? Like I can't prevent that.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
walking
not-
out of
that's
a
fine.
place because there's TV
Stay
on.
in the bar.
How many bars do you know play movies?
Plenty. I'm just coming up with
Yeah,
with
okay.
thoughts on this. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
you can't possess a remote and change the channel. You if you're in
Sure.
a bar and a show is on,
I can't willingly watch television.
You can't willingly watch
Right, okay.
television. Yeah.
And just because you think that I watch too much at night.
Oh,
I
you
have the
can't go to
TV
your
running all the
girlfriend's
time.
house and have her watch television and you creepily are
Stand in the corner.
Yeah.
What if
Your
there's
back
like two
turned.
mirrors and I can see it from the distance?
no.
No.
If she watches TV,
Fuck.
you have to get out of her room and you can't.
You
be
have to
around
break
it.
up with her. That's it. You can't do
You
anything.
gotta dump her right
yeah.
there on the spot.
right there. You can't do
Read a
anything.
book.
Sorry.
What do you want me to do, babe? Them's
You-
the rules of the podcast.
You can go to the movies though.
I would love for my relationship to end before the podcast ended. What a twist in that story.
Yeah, you
Uh,
can go to the movies.
You can go to the movies. Like, I mean, if you Becca want to go out to a movie.
Yeah, I just can't
on
watch
a
TV.
Friday.
I watch too much TV in the house. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at her house you do.
I do watch a lot of TV.
Yeah. So we, put your.
For a man who doesn't own a TV, you do watch a lot of it.
I own the biggest
Yeah.
TV in the house.
You can't go on Comedy Central and you can't watch stand-up clips. You can't. You can't
have a
watch
feeling that I can
sketches.
turn this around on you. I just got a great idea. I can't wait.
Okay.
So this is so that's the rule. Them's the rules.
Mhm.
All right, great. I officially accept the challenge.
News and sports.
News and sports, and if it's happening around me and there's nothing I can do about
Podcasts
it, I
are
just
good.
can't voluntarily. I have to not watch TV.
Yeah, there's a Thursday NBA game on ESPN or
Oh,
TNT.
oh, no.
And you're more than welcome.
If you're
To
watching it
hang
and I'm
out.
here, I will
Yes,
watch it with
absolutely.
you.
Get a little
Absolutely.
gambling in you. Look
I
at
would
the
love to
spread.
gamble. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to take it one step further. Instead of, I'm going to continue reading. I'm in the middle of a book. I'm going to finish that
Are
book this
you?
week. Yeah. I'm in the middle of the
What's
book.
the book called?
Why
How to watch
Why
Netflix.
Beautiful People Have More Babies.
Oh, okay.
It's an interesting read.
Which is obvious.
I can pretty much tell you that right now. I don't
Yeah.
need a book to tell you that.
yeah.
It's pretty much easy.
Um,
Beautiful people want to fuck. And they fuck, they jizz, and they jizz. And
Well, it's
they
a
make
book.
babies.
It's like stories within a book about like all the kind of the reasons things happen. It's just that's like the title of the book, but it's not. The whole book's not about
Hot
why
people.
hot people fuck.
Well,
But
that
it's an
makes
interesting
sense.
read. But I'll finish that book
I know
too.
it's not about that 'cause
That's
I'm
my
not
own
in there.
personal challenge. Also, now that the challenge is put in place, I can't wait to take my TV out of that room, the living room, because I'm nervous that I might sit down and watch it. So I'm going to put it in storage. I'm going to get it out of the way. I'm going to maybe
All
I'll
right.
maybe turn it backwards so I can't see it. And
All
because
right.
it's my TV, I have the right to do that.
All right.
How are you gonna take my TV out?
I don't give a fuck about your TV.
Yeah,
the
so
TV in the
don't worry
living
about
room
it.
might disappear.
That's fine.
But
That's
for
it.
the challenge rules.
Good luck putting it in storage. I want to see this. This is gonna be
well,
fun.
storage could go right into my room. Maybe I'll put it in the tub. It's empty now. There's no
You
bike
can put it in the
there.
tub.
Just turn the water on.
Put it in the tub.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to watch TV. That's
I'm
very
looking
exciting.
forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. I'm going to get a lot of work done.
Yes.
I'm gonna go crazy at night trying to sleep.
Well, take a sleeping
We
pill.
told you.
Oh, good. Get me addicted to sleeping medicine.
Oh, addicted. Come on, Jesus Christ. Take a couple. Fucking take an Ambien. Relax yourself a little bit.
Take an Ambien and
Have
kill somebody
a-
without knowing. Ooh, can I take an Ambien? Kill one of you?
Have an
Get
edible.
away with it?
Have an edible, some
Oh,
wine.
that's what I would do.
Get-
I'll freak out so hard. My panic attack will put me to sleep.
Mike, just fucking freebase, bro. What the fuck? Come on.
You're
A
gonna
little
be fine.
intravenous drug use.
You gotta win
I'm
this
gonna
challenge.
be fine, and I'll tell you what. I could use less consumption in my life.
You gotta win this challenge.
I'm gonna win this challenge.
Yeah. We don't want you.
Would have won the last one.
We don't want you fucking embarrassing yourself
You
again.
didn't win the last one.
I would have won
No,
the
you
last
wouldn't
one.
have won anything.
If the
You
rules
weren't
were in
good.
place that you guys had. I don't want to.
How was Disneyland?
Went to Universal. It was good. Had a great time. We got bamboozled by a mail order stripper. We ordered a stripper.
Mail?
Like
Yeah,
MAIL. Mail.
I don't think.
Yeah,
That's,
you got to be a little more
it's not a
specific when
mail
you say
order
that,
stripper.
yeah.
That's not. It's
You
not
call
a
a stripper,
mail-
they come to your home.
It's not a mail
In
order.
order to.
Would you order the one, and then another one showed up?
Well, no, we ordered 4. We selected 4, and they were like, "We'll find 2 of your 4 who are available." And then we got bamboozled with honestly a 75-year-old tuna fisherman called and was like, "Hey, I'm Clarice the stripper," and she sent us a photograph, and it was a sales photo. So like she wanted to pitch her services. It was the best photo she had.
Can you find her right now?
I could get someone I could post the photo.
Can you just show us?
I don't have it on my phone, but I'll get my friend to send it.
Clarice?
I think that was her name. It was Clarissa, something fucked up, and she, you could see her boobies through her like mesh shirt. And
Fisherman.
if this was her sales pitch, she is the worst salesman on planet Earth because she looked like she had a Groupon boob job. Like it was disgusting. Like one tit was like falling off to the side, and you could see like lumps in it. It was
Mike,
it was
it's called Gravity, man. She's
wa-
an older lady.
Hey, it wasn't Gravity. That was a fucking hack job on them tits.
So you
It
got
was rough.
wait, you got 2 strippers.
No, we got bamboozled by the whole thing. Like they were supposed to come over at 10, and at like 10:30 they called. They were like demanding more money to show up. And we're like,
but you
"Fuck
didn't give
this."
them any money.
They never showed up, so we just ended up going to a strip club.
So how did you never saw this woman?
We only saw photos of her, the 2 girls,
And how old was she?
probably 50.
She was listed at
32.
The photo we chose online was way different.
okay.
There was a bait and switch for sure. They were sending out the D squad.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was
Yeah,
gross.
10 guys in a house in Orlando.
First
We're
of
not
all,
fucking sending our A team out there.
It was 9, and we had a lot of money to burn.
How many rooms
yeah,
did you guys
Monopoly
have?
money.
There was a bed for everybody.
Disneyland money.
So you guys
It
were in a
was like 5
suite.
rooms, a bunch of pull-out
Oh, okay.
couches. There was a house. We were in an Airbnb.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
How was the Wizarding World of Harry Potter?
That part was really cool. The rest of Universal Studios honestly could burn to the ground and it wouldn't matter to me one bit. I don't know how people go there more than once. My buddy Bob went and he loves it. It's his favorite place on earth, which I totally respect. But after 4 hours, I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Bob has any kids?
No.
That's weird.
He's a kid at
Your
heart.
favorite place in the world is Disneyland. You're a
First of all,
35-year-old
Universal.
man, single.
You're Disneyland.
I
You
love
like
Disney.
Universal,
He loves
whatever
Universal.
it is. A place where there's a lot of kids running around. A little weird.
A lot of adults. It's not very kid friendly.
What about
Disney's more kid friendly?
Is Epcot there too?
Epcot's at Disney.
Epcot's at Disney. How many are there? Disney, Universal, and what else?
So Disney is its own entity.
Yeah.
Universal is its own entity.
And that's it. Just them 2.
well, then there's the Holy Land.
No.
That's a real place.
Never heard of it.
That's in
Disney, or it's in Orlando.
That's in the Middle East, bro. The Holy Land. I know
the,
the shit.
sorry, the Holy Land Experience.
Mecca.
I used to
know
work
about
right
this shit.
behind where the Holy Land Experience was, and it's like a theme park for the Bible. And the on-ramp, you could see the backstage, and I more than one occasion saw the guy playing Jesus smoking a cigarette, drinking a Gatorade. It was hilarious.
How about SeaWorld? Where's that?
SeaWorld's down there as well, so
Did
that's
you-
a totally different park.
Did they let you in do a cannonball?
Is that because I'm as big as a whale? You
Yes.
fucking prick.
Nah, you'd be more of a walrus though. Mikey, you give Mike a fish. He waves to the crowd.
I use my flipper to cover my face when the TV turns on.
So
I'm in a
see-
challenge.
So SeaWorld is a different entity.
Totally different park. There's
but
also
it's in Orlando.
Yeah, there's also like several small theme parks. There's Gator World.
I've been there.
Gator
Yeah.
World?
Yeah, I've been
Gator
there.
World is I can't understand why people would go to that. Well,
My
they're
dad-
rednecks.
my
that's why.
Is there a
brought
guy
us
that like
there.
puts his head in the gator? Is that like one of
That's
the
they
things?
have
Yes.
that there, but they also have alligators in cages. And I went to Gatorland one time, and it was boring as shit. And there was a gator in the cage, and then it backed up to the woods, and there was a gator in the woods, just a fucking loose gator,
Yeah.
because they're everywhere in Florida.
That's my dad's favorite place. I remember we'd go to Gator World before Disneyland or Universal every time we
He
went
wants
to
some new
Florida.
shoes. He goes there.
He loves Gator World. He loved watching the gators eat fish because they would throw full fish in the air and the gators would jump out and catch it like a dolphin.
Wow.
He loved Gator World.
They have.
He made me put a snake on my neck and I was crying. He's a fucking psycho.
This is 6 months ago. They have putt-putt golf courses in Orlando that have moats around them with alligators in them, and you can feed them hot
I
dogs.
thought you had to putt into the gator's mouth.
No, but you should. But you could feed them hot dogs. There's this gator, and they put them on little fishing poles, and you like tease. It's disgusting. But you pay $50 to go in the Gator World and see the goddamn.
And they
same
wonder
thing.
why a toddler got eaten there.
No, I don't.
Jesus.
Was it a toddler got eaten at Gator World?
No, Tyler got eaten at Disney
Oh, yeah.
by one of the lakes behind one of their hotels.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
And then they killed the gator.
I don't know if they did. They maybe just killed one like ceremoniously. They found a gator, like this is the guy, and they killed him, strung him up, drug him through town. And the mayor put his
Mussolini?
head on him. yeah, that was. He was tarred
This is a-
and feathered.
This is a recreation of Jaws?
It was, yeah. But yeah, it was. I fucking love Disney so hard. I don't know. It's because I went there as a kid. That's the only vacations we really ever took was to a beach or to Disney.
So Harry Potter's Universal.
Harry Potter's Universal, and that was really cool. Those rides were insane. Like the detail was unbelievable. But the rest of Universal, I don't. If I go back one more time in 20 years, it's because I got drugged there or somebody. I'm going because against my will.
I think I liked Universal Studios. I haven't been there in years, but there was E.T.
It is fun.
There was Jaws.
They have the Back to the Future ride.
Jaws is gone. Back to the Future is gone.
Really?
Gone?
Gonzo.
So what's
What?
there? Harry Potter.
Harry Potter took over Jaws.
Fuck him.
Simpsons took over.
Simpsons.
There's a
Simpsons?
Simpsons
What the
ride that
fuck's a
took over. It's a
Simpsons
Simpsons. It's Springfield. They have like a
Oh,
Krusty
that's pretty
Burger.
cool.
Yeah, they have a Quickie Mart with no sign of Apu. Those fucking.
Of course, you're not gonna have an Apu.
Pricks.
Not after
Yeah,
that
Pooh was gone
documentary.
like last year, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
Apu's done, man.
But yeah, it was fun. They had a big.
What else is gone though? I haven't been there since
It's all gone.
I haven't been there since I was 13, so I don't
Jaws is gone. There's a new
I
King
like
Kong
Jaws.
ride, which
There's
was
a new what
awful.
ride?
King Kong.
know. King Kong?
Yeah, it was terrible. Hated it.
Dude, you know what ride I remember there? Earthquake.
Gone.
Of course, that's gone.
Yeah, it's
That-
replaced with Fast and the Furious: The Ride,
Ugh.
which is I didn't get to go in but everyone said it was terrible.
Where's Tower of Terror?
That's Disney.
Oh, okay.
I've been on
I
that.
I
remember
feel
that
like I
one.
feel like the
Sure.
unofficial expert about all this stuff.
So Disney has like Space Mountain, Splash Mountain with that bear,
Yep,
that
yep,
fox,
yep,
and
yep.
that rabbit.
Briar Fox.
Briar Fox.
Yeah,
I like that ride
it's a fun ride.
because you don't know that those drops are coming,
Yeah,
and then you just drop. Do you get wet?
yeah.
Ew. That's fucking gross, though. That water hitting you? That
Yeah.
can't be good, right?
The amount of money though that was being spent, I would say no less than 50% of the people walking around the park were wearing $200 or more in Harry Potter costumes. People were walking in the park in capes with wands and shit. It's fucking madness how much money this thing makes. J.K. Rowling is a genius for that
and
shit.
that's a woman.
Yes.
And where's she from?
England
I
somewhere?
don't know if she's a genius,
Buddy, she was living in...
but she was like very on welfare till she was like 35.
Yeah, and then she wrote a book that she started writing on bar napkins, and now she's worth over
In South
$100 million.
America, she's worth more than 100 million.
110 million. We looked it
There's
up.
no
Oh no, I'm
fucking
sorry.
way.
She's worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe is worth 110. Harry Potter. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
110 million dollars. $1 billion for writing a book with the word Hogwarts in it.
Yeah, but it's also like
unbelievable.
8 movies, and now it's like in a theme
Yeah,
park.
for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean,
also
Oh, she's great. She's doing
Good
fine.
book too.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. She had a great idea.
it's a genius move. She figured out a way to make $1 billion off of a dumb story.
She's gotta get a cut of that, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
the whole
That's a
thing.
lot.
does Harry Potter?
Probably gets a piece.
His likeness probably gets a
yeah,
lot of
he
it.
gets
yeah.
paid for because he's in all of the rides. Like there's like 3D, animations of him, and he's like walking around.
He
the
make a
park.
little cash on a
He
wand?
had to. I hope he makes like a penny a wand.
I finally watched Harry Potter. You haven't even watched it.
I tried to the other night.
Yeah, you fell
You ever
asleep.
watched Harry Potter?
Never seen it.
I've
I've seen the
saw
first
it.
15 minutes, and I started snoring.
I saw it last.
Harry
because
nights
TV
ago.
puts me to sleep. God damn it.
Yeah.
No,
that's
no,
what it is.
no. Your lifestyle puts you to sleep.
That too.
Your lifestyle puts me to sleep.
Is that right?
Sorry. It was a good movie, actually. I can't believe I didn't. I went that long without watching it. Star Wars
I
is
do want to
next.
watch it. Star Wars is. I don't care about. Star
I don't
Wars.
care either.
I don't care one bit.
Lord of the Rings. Have you seen that?
Did see. I was into Lord of the Rings.
Oh, were you?
I did like Lord of the Rings.
Did Harry Potter? What started all this like nerd magic stuff? Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? Like
Probably Star Wars.
Star Wars.
yeah, Star
Star
Wars.
Wars, the original.
Started like the fanatical, and I think Lord of the
Nerds.
Rings was before Harry Potter, so that's like
Star Wars, I
that's
think,
when
was the
nerd
first
culture
time that
became just
No, but like how
culture.
about like Game of Thrones? Like that's not from Star Wars.
Way
that's
la-
from
way
like,
past.
That's from like Lord of the Rings though, right? That's like some sort of
well,
like
they're
that type
it's its
of
own
world.
story.
They're books. Game
Yeah,
of
they're
Thrones.
books, old books that turned into movies or
Yeah, but I'm saying like it's that type of like fantasy, like with
yeah, it's fantasy world. I guess I don't
dragons
watch.
and shit.
Lord of the Rings is the only one I ever got into, and I didn't care after like the third one.
Lord of the Rings is older though. What's older,
Yeah.
Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
The books, the Lord of the Ring books, are like from like the early 1900s.
Yeah, that's what I'm
some
saying.
crazy
The
shit,
books,
but the
though.
movies aren't.
I'm saying the books though
Yeah.
are.
Star Wars there was no books. Was there?
That's my favorite line in that movie, Airheads.
Do you know Star Wars?
With Brendan Fraser, they go, they're demanding stuff from the cops, and they're like, get 57 copies of Moby Dick. And they go, the book or the movie? He goes, they made a book out of that?
But there's no Star Wars books.
I'm sure there are.
No,
now.
it was just
No,
movies.
it was just,
It was just movies. Because I know like
George
they shot the first one, and like everyone I remember the cast was like, yeah, this movie's gonna fucking bomb. This movie's gonna be horrible.
Lines around the corner.
Yeah.
I never got into it. I don't know why.
I never got into it.
I've never
either.
been involved with anything where there was a line.
Star Trek too.
That's later.
That's kind of after.
Never
Star
watched
Wars.
it.
Never
though.
watched a single episode. I
Don't-
watched one of the new movies, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Just don't care.
Yeah, I was never into Star Trek. I didn't dress up. Not dressing up.
No.
How about wait a minute? How about Lord of the Rings? Who wrote that? I always thought J.K.
R.L.
Rowling.
Tompkins or something
Yeah.
like
R.L.
that.
See that?
Or something R.S. R.L. Stein, so it's not R.L., but it's something
R.L. Stein's-
Tolkien.
Goosebumps.
J.R.
Okay.
Tolkien.
J.R. Tolkien.
Tolkien.
J.R.
Who knows?
Oh, let's see. Lord of the Rings author.
Yeah, what's with all these fucking
I know.
authors with just two letters? They don't want people know your name's Robert. You fucking loser. They're gonna look me up. It's a pen name.
I should have fucking wrote a book.
I need a pen.
All these guys are killing it. These book guys.
Maybe that's what I'll do this week when I'm not watching TV. I'll finally write my book. It'll be my life story. It'll be a pamphlet.
Wait, what's your J.R.
Born, live
No,
with
no.
losers. The end.
This guy doesn't have two. It's J.R.R. Tolkien.
J.R.R. Tolkien,
Yeah.
and then R.L. Stein, and then
J.K. Rowling.
J.K.
Is it
Rowling.
J.K.?
J.K. Rowling.
She wrote that as her pen name because she didn't think anyone would take her seriously.
C-
J.K. I'm rolling.
C.S. Lewis. What the fuck did this guy write?
C.S.
C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis wrote
The Lion, the Witch,
Lion,
and
the
the
Witch,
Wardrobe.
I was going to say that just now.
Louis C.K.
He wrote a lot on the wall with his cum. That's what you guys have in common. Comes in front of women who don't want to see it, and others come on the walls of people who don't want it on there.
You come in shower drains.
Never have once.
I think
And
you
left
have.
it. Huh?
Yeah, I think you have.
I think I want to read a book soon.
Read a book.
Where do I get them?
I just got my library membership.
Can I use it?
Library membership. What are you, 87 years old?
What are you? What are you for? It's library.
I'm from Queens. I say whatever the fuck I said.
Library.
Library membership. What are you,
The library is at Steinway and Broadway, right?
Steinway and Broadway.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
No, it's well, I don't know if there's one there, but there's
Yeah,
one
there
at like 38th and 21st, the Queens Library. It's Queens, baby. How can you
Oh,
not support the Queens
Jesus.
Library?
Imagine how many grown men just reading with their fingers. Not even speaking.
Using a ruler so they know where they're at. The Queen's Library has 2 books.
Put a little little mustard on my hot dog.
And what if it's just the map of New York?
No, it's the map of New York and the history of the Mets.
The Queen's Library is just full of cobwebs. Someone walks in. What are you doing here? I want a book. They're like, fuck, we knew someone would show up.
No, there is one on Broadway, and it's closer than the
Oh, I
one
don't
you
know,
just
maybe.
said. Yeah, it's just past Steinway. It's still on Broadway.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
by
where
the
that
post
is.
office. Yeah,
Yeah, I know
know
what that is.
The
So
Queen's
you're gonna go to the
Library.
library
I think so, yeah.
and read?
No, you can check a book out, stupid. Have you ever been to a library?
Yeah, one time I saw a person get painted naked in the basement.
They used to
Was
do
that an
stuff.
official
No, that was
event?
his thing. Yeah. Remember the thing his aunt or something?
No,
like
not my
that?
aunt. My cousin, my neighbor, drove me home from school, and then she's like, our other daughter is painting something in the basement, and I went down there, and people were naked
How old were you?
in high school.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah,
She hot?
no,
Uh,
it was
The
a
only
guy
time-
and a girl.
I used to go to the library back when I was a kid, but I was renting Goosebumps. That's the only thing I would take out of the library.
I had a lot of
was
Goosebump books.
Loved Goosebumps.
I remember I used to like. My aunt was all into reading, and my mom was like, "Oh, we'll get him into reading." And we'll just give him a library card, and I used to just
Can you just try to say it right once?
library, library, right?
That's so funny that your accent actually made you mispronounce a word.
Library card. All right.
The Queen's Library.
He's dying.
That's so funny.
I used to
Just
fuck
the irony of all that is just fucking great. He's not. Look at his
I
face.
hate the library.
So back to I used to go and then just check out books and never read them. I used to like eight books though. And I'd be like, "Fuck it, yeah."
Is
Check
that
me
it?
out. Queen's Library.
All right, so you're gonna go. Well,
It's
you
got
gotta
an
go now.
RFID chip too.
You you might as well go now.
Yeah, when
How
I'm
much does
done-
that cost you?
It's free, baby.
Libraries are free.
Yeah. Well, you gotta rent.
Well, if you're late, you have
5
to pay
cents.
like a penalty for not bringing it back, just like
A buck,
like
a
a
buck.
like a VHS tape at the Blockbuster. But yeah, if you don't bring, well, they have like books and magazines and like there's other stuff you can rent or borrow.
The books I like, I'd be embarrassed to take them out. I like Franklin the Turtle.
We should go. You should get a library card. Now, see, I don't want. Now I'm having a hard time pronouncing it.
How do you
So
say this word?
Library.
Library. Yeah.
library.
Yeah.
Library.
Well, there's an R in there that you were missing.
No, I think I was saying it.
No, you're not
Definitely
saying
not.
you're not saying the first R. You're saying library.
You're saying the second R.
Library.
Yeah, library.
Whatever. I think berries. I'm excited.
He's looking at a strawberry. He's like, "You're lying to me." He's being told fibs by fucking fruit.
Write more of those jokes this week.
Well, so far it's gotten a good laugh. So I feel good about it.
I'm excited to see you reading around the house. What's a lot of
That's the thing.
pages in a book? Like
Oh, no,
considered long.
Once they go over like 400, I'm toast. Like you're
Yeah.
not getting me.
It does makes me not want to read the book if it's too thick. Because I know that my patience isn't going to allow me to finish it. I used to start a lot of books and just not finish.
The font can't be too small either. I gotta have bigger font.
And smaller words.
You know what it is? I just I lose my place constantly because I do need the ruler. Like
Go dog, go. Next
I'd be
page.
like,
I can't focus when I read, man. I'll mow by 10 pages. Like I get.
and you'd be like, you have no idea where you were.
Yeah, I get-
have
Yeah,
to all
I
the
do that
time.
all the time.
I don't
I'm like-
know what happened. I just read the words, but nothing stuck.
I'll like very
she's thinking about
silently.
the over under tonight's
Yeah.
game.
What's
for
the
sure.
over under on how many pages you're going to get through? I take 0.
For sure.
I sometimes I'll like have to just very silently mumble the words to myself just so that I like know that I'm reading them and not just looking at them. I used to fake reading when I was a kid, like when you had
farted,
like
guys,
summer
I
reading
apologize.
classes and or summer reading programs, and I would just like put my eyes across each line, and I was like, I definitely read. Like, of course I read. I looked at every page. That was me reading.
I met someone who was a speed reader. It's crazy.
You met a nerd.
I don't know if they were a nerd, but they just like do this and then they go this and they get it.
Becca can do that too.
No.
Will I be reading an article, or she'll have an article up, and I'll be trying to read it with her, and she's just fucking scrolling. I'm like, I don't know what the
Oh,
fuck you're talking
Did you ever
about.
read an article with somebody? and
Yeah.
You fake what I read it, yeah, but you're
All
literally
the
3
time.
paragraphs back, and you're like, I just don't want to know how fucking retarded I am.
All the time.
Yeah.
Olivia too.
Yeah.
She's like scrolling. I'm like, go back.
Yeah.
Oh, I was reading something with the girl the other day, and she kept reading it quickly, and she's like, "Are you done?" I was like, "Yeah, like a minute ago." What's wrong with you?
I was done. I finished before you even started.
Hurry up,
What's
slowpoke.
wrong with you? Jesus.
I'm a man. I need to read. Yeah, I'm not really fast.
What were you reading with a girl the other day?
It was like an article in a magazine. It wasn't like crazy.
Cosmo. Is the guy I'm dating stupid? Yes. All right, moving on.
Can we get Becca to come over and watch you read fast?
You just want to watch her read?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I can do. I can put like a little frame around her and watch her read, and that could be my TV. I have like a little fake remote.
That you could do.
Use like a butter stick as a remote.
I don't like when people read on the what do you call those things?
Books.
No,
Kindle.
no, Kindle. I don't like
Why?
Kindles. Those are weird. I sort of like books, like to like rip them. I like to damage books.
You like books? I prefer books. Do you read? No, definitely not.
But
just
if
like the
I
sound
was
of-
going to burn something, it would be a book.
You could throw a book at somebody; it makes damage.
Yeah.
It really does.
A
A
Kindle would
hardcover book?
hurt.
Yeah.
A Kindle would hurt.
Before a book becomes a bestseller, when it's hard, that's how you know it's a good time. Did you
Oh,
know
you-
that that's what happens?
You throw a paperback at them; it looks like it won't hurt, but it will.
Do you know that's what it is? They sell books as hardbacks, hardcovers, until they sell enough copies, then they print them in soft covers.
Oh, I did not know. You
Yeah.
thought any of us knew that?
No. But I was presenting it as if you did. You might
I
have.
do know the hardcover is more expensive.
It's when
They
they first
are?
come out.
Yeah, it's like $1 or $2 more.
They have to sell a certain amount before publishers will make them soft cover.
Who's on,
Mass produced, get them done quicker.
What's a good book now? Like people are talking about? Because I remember the.
I don't even know. Like, you know, like there's movies that come out. They're like the same with books, but I couldn't fucking tell you a book that came out in the last year.
50 Shades of Grey was the last time I heard about
about
people
10
talking
years
about
ago.
books. Really?
It's a long time ago. They've already made 3 movies out of that shit.
Oh, I guess maybe, yeah.
Did you shit yourself?
Yeah, I might have.
So did he. Jesus
I
Christ.
you
I'll
smell,
do it.
You smell my fart?
Oh, did I smell your fart? Buddy, I almost passed out over here. You thought I was talking about books. No.
So who's a hot author right now?
J.K. Rowling.
JK.
JK.
JK LOL. That's my favorite.
No, I don't even know who's a like.
I'm trying to make jokes to cover up the fact that I'm really spinning my brain to think about if I know
Do
a good
people
author. Dan
actually
Brown.
enjoy
People
reading?
love Dan Brown. I don't know what that means.
Who?
Exactly. Dan
Oh,
Brown.
oh,
He's like the guy.
Stephen King. That guy's big.
Yeah, he's all right.
That guy's big.
The joy in your face when you
Yeah.
thought of Stephen King.
Do people actually
I don't-
enjoy reading? Does Becca like reading, or does she just
She
do it to
reads-
sort of like make it seem like she's better than people? No.
There's probably some of that in there.
You ever watch
she reads
someone read
constantly.
on the subway? And
I was reading on the subway last night
how?
because
How?
it kills time, and I don't like. I get sick of listening to a podcast, so I'll bring a book with me.
I don't know.
Sometimes I get 2 pages, and then I just don't read that book for another fucking 6 months. But I'm trying to read more.
I have
Trying to better
the last
myself.
book I read to completion was like 6 years ago, but I'm like 7 pages away from finishing the what's that book? The Mind Your Fucking Business, or
Let's see if you get it.
what's your
The
fucking
book you're
deal?
currently reading.
No, I'm not reading. I'm not reading it.
Yeah, but the book you're like the last book you read. See if you can remember the title.
Oh, what the fuck was the name of that book? I gave it
close.
to you.
The was that your way of saying you're?
You
done
have a
with it?
joke about this
The
book.
Art, the art,
You
the
don't
subtle art.
subtle art of not giving a fuck.
It's
yeah.
half your. It's part of your act.
I don't use that joke anymore. You can take it if you want.
That's what I want. I want an old joke that
joke
didn't
that-
work to begin with.
Joke that works.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like 7 pages away from finishing that book, but that's not happening.
Why? Do
Why
you
not
want it
finish
back,
it?
man? I'll give it to you.
No,
Yeah,
I don't even because I don't. It's so far. I'd have to read I have to go back and read like 2 chapters back and be like.
You
what
can have
the
my
hell is
copy.
this?
I was using it as a platform to put my laptop on while I had movies on at night, but I don't need that anymore.
Well, now you could read.
But I already read the book. I put the book under the TV and then I watched TV.
Oh, you read it.
yeah.
I got that baseball book I bought in Atlanta. That was a fucking ripoff for me.
Well, it was a book.
I read 7 pages in the place. Like I'm gonna read the rest of the thing. Never read it since.
You wouldn't even read a book about the Mets?
I know all the information about the Mets.
They don't print books about Mets because no one will buy them. they'll print
No,
posters.
there's a book by Mets. Yeah.
What was your favorite?
Where do you get them at? The Queen's Library? Oh,
Mr.
it's
Met
so
sells
good.
them himself.
He has them in his big helmet.
I
head.
sort of want to go to that library to see the morons in there.
So it's mostly kids, but there's you can and it's cool. Apparently, I've never done this now, but I know this from my book fucking nerd girlfriend. You can reserve a book online, and then you go and pick it. It's like ready for you. You pick it up, just like if you order Chipotle. It's like Grubhub for books.
It's there.
It's
Like a librarian
brain,
hands it to
it's
you.
Brain Hub. Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's just on a shelf.
So
and
they
it's got
make
your
an
name on it.
80-year-old lady go get the book, bring it to you instead of you going and getting it yourself.
But if it's not at that library, they'll deliver it from a different one to yours, and they'll have it there waiting for you.
Do you know how? Do you know? How
And you
much,
just scan it on a computer and you walk out.
Do you know how much librarians make?
Not a lot.
They make close to $100,000.
Fuck out of here.
Yes, they do.
Why? For the card
Because
catalog?
they specialize in books. Like it's not like here's the fucking book, go get it from a shelf. When people come in and they
What does
ask,
specializing in books mean? They
like,
can read?
like you come up to me and you go, I'm a librarian for the sake of this fucking.
I can't look at your
stupid-"
head while I'm hearing you say that.
So, okay, I'm a
Go put a
librarian.
cardigan on.
You haven't had a comb in your hair in 6 months. I'm a librarian.
No, but you come up to me and you go, "Hey, I want this type of book. I read something like this, and I want something similar in this."
Sure.
You know, and a librarian has the knowledge of books and what's the other word? The specialty of books.
Language?
No, something else. I don't know, but they specialize.
You're a
so
great librarian.
they could like
What's that fucking word where it's like reading but different?
they could like request things, and they could tell you based on what you enjoy.
So they're like
And your
they're like the
pa-
Amazon algorithm in their brain.
Yeah, and you know if you have
You rented tomato. You bought tomato sauce off Amazon. You might also like sausage.
Yeah. See, no, I think that's what they do. They like specialize
got
in like
that.
literature. That's the word, literature.
That's
And-
books.
Yeah, but you know that's the smart way of saying books. But yeah, so you come
What's
in
that
and
smart word for books?
you go, I like this, I like this, I like that. Oh, there's an author who's great at this and that, and then
Might
they,
go
you
in
know,
there and go, "What's your best literature?" See
Do you
what
have
they
any?
say.
Do you have any literature on food? Do you have any cooking literature?
You know the bonus, my buddy.
Sure.
He dated a girl who for 4 years who was a librarian, and she used to make him read. He used to do book reports. He had to do a book report every like 3 months. Like he couldn't come out. He's like, I gotta read a book. I got a book report.
She's making me read the book.
I feel like I'm closing in on that with improv. I feel like she's gonna make me start doing book reports. She really wants me to.
She
read
really
more.
reads a lot of books.
Constantly.
Really?
She probably weeds. I've been in Queens for too long.
Or around me.
Well, I just call you Queens behind your back.
Oh, okay. She wants you to read.
No, she just suggests books a lot. She knows, she's like, oh, I think you would like this book. She read a book about that Questlove wrote,
Oh, really?
and she said it was really good, interesting about like the creative process.
I wonder how long
And I wanna
after
read that next.
if I dated a girl and she was like, "How long?"
Already it doesn't make sense. But
You
go ahead.
should you should read how long would you just give up? Just be like, I go, stop telling me to do this. You know it's not happening.
Hey, you should read We're Done. God damn it, that was close.
You know the last book I read, now that I remember, it was in the summer of 2003. Hulk Hogan's book. I swear to God. Terry Bollea. I crushed it, too. I sat outside in the sun, and I read it in 6 hours.
I used to treat my favorite book like I treated Entourage. I would read it like 4 times.
Yeah.
Do you ever read the book Shiloh?
No.
Yeah,
What's that?
but
It's
the
a
dog.
book about a dog.
Yeah,
Shiloh.
Yeah, it's like almost 100 pages. It's pretty brutal.
dude, I read a book
It's
like
long.
I remember I read a book like 10 years ago, maybe maybe 8 years ago, and I was so jacked about reading this baseball book, and I was so pumped. And then my cousin came over, and she's like, "Ooh, this is a good book." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a great book." She's like, "Yeah, I made my 4th grade class read this."
Hilarious. You know what's a really good book that's an easy read, but it's longer, that I think you guys would both like? If I was a librarian, this is what I would say. This is my algorithm for literature. There's a great book that I read called Confessions of an Economic Hitman.
What the heck is that?
What are you doing?
Can I use it? Can I search something? A book that I read back
Yeah,
in
the
the
phone's
day?
upside down, though. There's a book, The Confessions of an Economic Hitman is a book about this guy who, it's like a story that this guy, he worked for organizations that would basically go into third world countries that don't have like modern plumbing, electric grids, water. They would go in there, get the government to agree to have contractors come in to build all their infrastructure to bring them into modern times. But the contractor would loan them the money to do it at such high interest rates that knowing they were never going to be able to pay it off. And so once they would build this infrastructure, they would default on the loan, and then the company would then own the electric, plumbing, and all of it in the entire country and just bleed them dry of money by overcharging and overcharging. It's fucking crazy.
This guy's a good guy.
It happens all, but this guy was like a part of that system,
Yeah.
and he wrote this great book about it. It's a long read. Long read for
My
me.
brother reads a lot.
Really good.
Does he?
Yeah, he's a big reader.
Maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's what we need to do to start getting ourselves out of this fucking, what I would like to call, horrible lifestyle. Impoverished attitudes. You know how it is.
Yeah, he
I
reads a
can't find
lot.
this book.
Maybe it's not like books. You know, he does read books, but it's like a lot of like articles.
I read a lot of headlines.
Like he's
I read a
on-
lot of sports articles.
He'll be in his room on his computer, but he doesn't like. He's not like us on a computer where it's checking highlights or watching porn. He actually reads articles and stuff online. He does that shit a lot.
yeah.
Your brother's smart though, dude. He
Yeah,
went
he
to,
was.
like,
Yeah, he's like.
Yeah, he's
had
smart.
real
He knows things.
He's smart. He goes to the library.
I can't find this book.
Do you know what it's called?
No, it was about this Punjabi kid who moved to Canada and played hockey when he had a turban on, and people would make fun of him, but he was a good goalie. That was the book we had to read in grade 5.
Was the turban on top of the helmet?
No, you fuckhead.
I don't know.
Pretty funny actually, though.
That's a great. It sounds like a mascot.
Here, freemics.com. There it is. Yeah, no, I what was your favorite Goosebumps?
I don't remember any of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't
remember the names.
I remember having them, but I don't really remember them.
I remember reading them and watching, and I also watched a lot of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Which is, I felt like it was very Goosebumps like.
Is that TV?
When I was a kid.
We know you watched a lot of it, right, Mike?
Yeah.
That was
Big
filmed.
fan.
That was filmed in Toronto. So
Was
so
it?
was Goosebumps.
Really?
Yeah, I know a bunch of people on that show.
Goosebumps, the movie, was filmed in Atlanta.
Oh, really?
I know that.
The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. I remember that one. I
Is
read
that a
that
movie?
one.
Is that a book?
Yeah, that's Goosebumps.
Oh,
He was abominable snowman.
he would melt.
Not this fucking guy. He was tough.
Just slapped some mud on and fucked off.
Goosebumps was pretty good though.
I need to read more.
What
week
does
I wanna-
reading do really though? No, like everyone's like it's good for your brain.
It's
but,
good
like,
for your brain.
It stimulates your brain.
You have
yeah.
to process words into thought, and then you have to create the scenery in your head.
Instead
so it's
of
like
people
it's-
just telling us what the hell's going on.
yeah, just watching it. Can you read sports? Could you read a
I
game
could read plays.
as it's happening though, and then and get the
This guy
play?
will dissect the 4-3 defense like it's nobody's
I
business.
know fucking high pick and rolls for sure.
I would be interested to see if you could read a game as it happened without watching it.
I could read gambling lines.
What do you mean?
Like if somebody was, like if it was just the closed caption
Oh no,
of the sports calls.
I'm saying I've read
and not
like,
seeing it.
It's
I've
called
been
Gamecast.
I've been on like Twitter and ESPN for like fights where they'll have guys like just literally just typing in what's going on in the round. I read that.
Yeah. Same with basketball. They have that, like a fucking 12-footer from the, baseline, weak side rebound, short.
Sure,
Push the tempo, fast break, layup,
those are all words I've heard.
opposite left hand, little
Mhm.
spin on it, little
Well,
English. Anyways.
I tell people to put a little English on it when they're throwing axes.
Oh yeah, the
I like
axis.
that word, English.
Put a little. What does that mean? Put a little English on it, like
I
it
don't really know.
spins.
That means
I think it's just like do a little extra. I think it means just like no matter what it is, you
torque
can make
on
it.
it.
Yeah, just give it a.
Yeah, maybe.
If they're not like angling it right, I go give me a little more English on that.
Why
Put a little
English, though?
Chinese.
What are they? What are they? What are they? Yeah, it should be a little more Chinese. That's what it really should be. It really should be a little more English.
Yo,
What do they do?
Add a little soy sauce to that toss. What do you think, huh?
English
That's
is a tough
just racist
language,
stuff,
though.
Man. What are you doing, bro? What kind of fucking podcast is this?
English is tough for a language. It's pretty fucking.
It's
tough.
the easiest language to learn.
No, it's not. It's one of the hardest languages.
I heard it was the easiest.
Mandarin's not harder than English.
No, it is.
I know English. It can't be that hard.
No, English is tough. English is way harder than like any of the Latin-based or
Really?
Roman-based.
I heard it was
languages.
easy. One of
No.
the easier ones to do.
No.
What
It's
about
tough.
Sanskrit?
Who?
Exactly.
It's a dead language, though.
Yeah. It's
You know-
gotta be tough to learn that.
I think which one's more, Cantonese or Mandarin? There's more of which one? Which one's the more simple one?
What?
But we just look
How
at
do I
books
know
we
that?
don't read. How
There's-
the fuck
there's
do you
more
know?
Yeah, we're talking about goosebumps over here.
Cantonese is more difficult than Mandarin. There's,
Is it?
Yeah, there's like I think it's Cantonese. There's like 140 types of Cantonese languages,
Jesus.
and 2 are extinct. People don't even.
So
do
they're
it
not. It's not a
anymore.
language anymore.
There's still 138.
That's like saying, hey, there's dodo birds everywhere.
Yeah,
well,
people
they're all
don't-
dead.
People
but
don't use them.
Do you know what I didn't tell you this? New Year's Eve, I did New York, and I met a girl. She was a Latin teacher, and I was like, "Wow, that's still like around." She's like, "Yeah, like rich kids learn Latin and stuff." And I was like, "What does my arm say?" Because I have a Latin tattoo.
Hilarious. What does it say in Latin? What does it say like?
Hold on. I was like, because when I got this, I didn't know who to fucking. So I hit up an old teacher from my college, and then he put me in contact with a Latin teacher from somebody else, another school. And I was like, fuck, this guy could have just bullshitted me though and told me anything. I was like,
What does it mean?
What does it
says
say?
Follow your hope. And I asked her, I go, what does this mean? And I thought she was gonna like reply back, you're an asshole or something like that. But she goes, it's follow your hope. I was like, thank God, the guy wasn't.
Follow your
Follow
hope
your
doesn't make
hope.
sense in English.
Because there's no word for dream in Latin. It's hope.
Maybe that's
I
why
guess that
nobody
makes
speaks
sense,
that
though.
language anymore.
Follow your hope. Well, Latin is the base language for what? 6.
Everything.
While English is a mix. English is like Germanic, Latin.
It's the love languages.
Yeah, Romanian, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and I think that's it.
Someone recently goes, her brother's like a really smart guy, and he's
This girl?
yes. I'm like, well,
Well, you don't have a sister, so she clearly wasn't talking about you.
no, not at all.
Come on, that was funny.
And so I was like, "Oh, what'd your brother major in college?" And she's like, "Oh, love languages." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And like 3 minutes later, I was like, "So how many languages does he speak?" And she's like, "Oh, like 5." And I was like, "Oh, when you meant love languages, I thought you meant like kind of like emojis." Like love
and heart
like,
eyes.
like symbols for love. I didn't know that was a term, love languages.
I think it took you 3 minutes to figure out that emojis can't be a college class.
I was just like, oh, I thought it was like symbols or some shit like that.
I didn't know that they were called the love languages. I had no idea that they. I just recently.
What?
maybe
It's
like
Latin, French,
Latin
Spanish
is
and
Latin is
Italian.
the base of
Italian.
yeah.
It can't be German. There's
No,
no,
it's
way
not
that
German.
that
No.
It's
shit is
Romanian.
Romania. Romantic. Makes sense.
Yeah, because
And then what's the other one?
Portuguese, Spanish, Italian.
That's a love
French,
language?
Romanian. Yeah. Well, they're all
But Latin's not one of them.
they're all
Latin's like the
Latin-based.
umbrella.
Yeah, Latin's like the top. It's like they're all
You know how we would know more about this stuff if we read.
red. Someone was like, "Did your parents speak Italian?" And I'm like, "Only when they fought at home." And they're like, "It's one of the love languages." I was like, "Not in my house." It's more hate than anything.
My parents spoke love lost as soon as I was born.
That's funny. My dad. That's how my dad. He goes. He can understand Italian a little bit because when he was younger, his parents would talk to each other in Italian when he fucked up in school, and his dad would just smack him in the back of the head.
Italian's coming.
He's
Yeah.
like, it's like I knew I fucked up when I get a smack. I have to go. That word meant I fucked up.
My dad would speak Italian in the house, but only when he was talking about food.
Well,
And it was just regular words that we all knew, and then he would just put a little English on it. We're having pasta faso. All right, I'm pretty sure that's not Italian.
No, dude, English is fucking hard, man. Think about all the words in English that we say that sound the same but are spelled differently with a different meaning.
Live, live,
Yeah. But
two.
well, live and live are
lot.
spelt the same.
That's what I'm saying. 2 different words, 2 different meanings, exact same spelling.
How about right? That's
2 different words, pronounced the same, spelled 2 different ways, 2 different meanings.
no, and then there's one that's spelled differently.
R-I-G-H-T, W-R-I-G-H-T.
What's WRIGHT?
Or W-R-I-T-E.
That's a Wilbur brother.
Yeah, that's a brother who flies.
Well, that's a last name. That's a pronoun.
A white brother. Sorry.
There's right.
The Black Brothers are better.
Right.
What?
I thought you said White Brothers.
No, the Wright brothers.
Right.
I thought we were doing another Queen's
Jesus
Wife. Were we?
Christ. What's wrong with you today?
The white
Racism,
boys.
Honestly.
Well, like there's
I thought you said white.
what you know what's fucking funny? I was trying to my cousin from Italy who was like doesn't speak English. They don't speak English in Italy and
YouTube, a big star.
yeah, that's stupid. No, he does a little bit, but he's 8. But I try to. My cousin's like he wants to speak English, so I was like, all right, I'll teach you some things, and and I start by I don't know why I used right as my like example, so I went right, and then I was like left, but he went left. Like he didn't. I can't do it on the podcast.
Like
but
he was
like,
writing with his other hand.
yeah, he thought that's how you meant. Like he meant like that was left, but he thought that this was the symbol for left. But he was going like this, and I was like, this is already a disaster.
Yeah, there's a lot of words that have multiple meanings.
Correct is right, and then right is right turn, and then right is writing. Two are spelled the same.
You can
and
be
one-
right, like RIGHT.
Yeah, you could be.
You can
yeah.
write something. You can take a right.
Mhm.
You can.
It is your right,
It's
It is your right. See, it's already a fucking shit
but
show.
that's spelled RITE,
No,
isn't it?
that's right aid.
But that RITE is a word.
No, it's not.
I think it is.
Positive.
No.
It's RITE is your right.
No, it's RIGHT.
Well, right, RIGHT.
You have to fight for your
Hold
right to
on.
party?
Right, RITE, a religious or solemn ceremony or act.
Okay.
Oh, right.
But
that might
that's-
be a writ.
Yeah, but that's not
Oh, boy.
your right. That's your right. Because that's
Yeah. Man, right's a fucked up word.
right's tough.
Right sounds
Guys.
pretty wrong.
Well, how about left? That's pretty tough too.
You left the house. I took a left.
I guess that's it.
That's
Guys,
it.
I know what I'm thinking about right now. We know the English language pretty well.
Right
Pretty-
now.
We're pretty fucking smart. How about that? We don't need to read any more books.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that what you're taking
yeah.
from this?
Yeah, that's the name from it. No books for Christy this month.
What's a synonym?
So you put a little sugar on it. They sell them on hot,
Have you ever
hot
heard-
sticky buns.
Voss's joke. He's like doing. He's doing
Whose?
stuff. Voss's joke, but he goes, "I'm doing stuff with my daughter, like English words." He goes, "Dad, what's a homonym?" And he goes, "I don't know, a gay nim."
It's a gay name. I love Voss. I don't know. It's a gay name. Stupid. Oh, why did Rich Voss, who isn't here, get the biggest laugh? Of the podcast so
He's
far?
going to be on our show, though.
Speaking of Rich Voss, he's going to be on our show. What's the date?
February 28th.
February 28th, Thursday. Are tickets up? We got to
No,
get them
not
up.
yet.
We should we'll get him up on the 1st.
Who else is on the show? Do we know?
I've asked
I've
so many
reached
people.
out to people.
Okay,
and
but
they're-
so far it's us and Rich Voss.
That's already
and you know what? You heard that joke? It's gonna be a good job.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good show. I don't know, a gay name. Oh, it makes me so mad. It's so good. A synonym.
There's a synonym, homonym,
He's getting hungry.
antonym. Yeah, stop drooling when you say synonym.
I don't even want to eat. I just want to watch food television.
Yeah.
I got to do it all day. I'm just gonna sit around and watch TV all day.
You have today. But you got to come to the open mic with me.
What if I record something today and watch it tomorrow?
No.
I'm not watching TV.
Yes, you are.
No.
That's television, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat at the mic.
Yeah, you should come.
So yeah, that's it. That's it for the week. I think we did it.
Great.
So February 28th is our next Sweet Buddies Live at New York Comedy Club in the East Village, and the next couple days at sweetbuddiespod.com will be links for that. And Rich Voss is going to be on it. Rich Voss legend.
Yeah, and we're still working on getting a couple other people.
Yeah.
The people are gone, I feel, a lot in February.
Yeah,
so
pilot season's kicking off, so a lot of people go to LA.
Yeah.
You're going to be gone.
I'm going to be gone, but I'm not doing pilot season.
Well,
I'm-
hey, the industry knows.
I'm going to be gone for till the 25th.
But we're going to keep
So
doing
thank
this.
God I won't
So,
see either of you.
So stick around. Check us out at Sweet Buddies on Instagram to keep us following up, as I'm sure you'll see a lot of fun content as we go. Anything else?
No?
Plugs?
No, I think it's about it.
We're going to try to weed a book.
At the
Yeah.
library.
Mike, what are you going to do though to keep busy for
I'm going
your-
to continue. I'm going to keep. I'm going to write some more. I'm going to read. I'm going to probably read to kill the time.
Really?
Good
Yeah.
cook.
Reading puts me to sleep too, which is good news.
I can't wait to see you.
I
around
get
the
4
house.
words in and my brain fucking melts out of my head.
So a lot of naps. That should be productive.
I'll probably nap a lot.
Or we're going to take away TV.
But that's the other thing too is like when I take I don't when I lay down or if I take a break, I'm not always snapping. I just might watch TV just to like shut my brain off for a minute, and then I'll get back up and go at it. Now what am I going to
Can you
do?
imagine Albanese?
Shut your brain off for a minute.
Or 12,
Yeah.
or 40. Who knows?
Can you imagine Albanese just can't sleep now? He just has fucking what's that called when he can't sleep? Insomnia.
Insomnia.
The whole week, and he goes crazy.
You're not going to be wrong. I might lose my fucking mind.
Einstein only slept for like 2 hours a week or something.
So does Trump. No, it's 2 hours a night.
Oh, is it a night?
Yeah.
Trump sleeps Trump doesn't sleep.
I'd rather nap than be Einstein, to be honest.
Right? No, yeah.
I think so.
Well, he's dead, so yeah.
That's a good point. All right. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
Bye.